With teams blowing up their core group of players, such as the Orlando Magic in the 2021 trade deadline, and as recently as the Washington Wizards as they let Bradley Beal go, I think there are 5 teams in the NBA that should blow up their roster and start rebuilding. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. This list is in no particular order, so starting off, let's go with the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors are one of those teams who are stuck in no man's land. They're not competing for the number 1 pick, or they're not competing for an NBA title. So I think the Toronto Raptors should blow their roster up. They have a bunch of guys that they can start retooling around, such as Scottie Barnes being the main one. And I think Pascal Siakam will have a nice market. You can get 2 to 3 first rounds from him. OG Anunoby, who's a guy they want 4 first round picks for, that's not going to happen. But OG is going to be a guy who is highly coveted and can help a championship team that's actually trying to contend for a title, because Toronto's not trying to contend for a title. And they just let Fred VanVleet go, so I think that was a move that could have kicked off the retooling or the rebuild, should I say, but it didn't. They brought in Dennis Schroeder, a guy who's a winning point guard, a guy who has a title, but just went to the Western Conference Finals, helped the Lakers. But Toronto Raptors, the first team. Next up, I have the Chicago Bulls. Chicago, they're stuck in no man's land for real. After losing Lonzo Ball probably for the entire next season, I think they should just, hit the reset button. They were the team that Orlando traded with and won their trades to blow it up, and Orlando completely fleeced them. Yes, my Orlando Magic, we won a trade, and they had DeMar DeRozan, a guy who could help somebody win a title. They had Zach LaVine, not a young star no more, but he's a star, and he can really help somebody win a title. They're going to get a haul for both of them, and they can be set in a really nice spot to win a title. They don't really have anybody that they can rebuild around. They have Patrick Williams, they have Io, they have Kobe White, but those are, surrounding pieces. Those are not players that are really going to help you kick off a rebuild. They can help competing teams win games, but they're no real pillars on a competing team. Next up, I have the Los Angeles Clippers. The LA Clippers, since making the deal for Paul George and Kawhi, they have made it to 1 Western Conference Finals and have been bounced out in the second round and or the first round. And multiple years, they have played minimal games together. I think the Los Angeles Clippers are a team that can get the assets back that they lost for the PG trade. I don't know if they can get assets back for Russell Westbrook. That's a tough move. Kawhi Leonard, of course, I think they can get some assets back, even though he plays 50 games a year, if you're lucky, to be honest. But the Los Angeles Clippers, they can get some assets back. Next up, I have the Milwaukee Bucks. I know the Milwaukee Bucks are a team who just won a championship not too long ago, but Giannis Antetokounmpo is playing on the oldest roster in the NBA, and he's probably a top 3, top 4 player in the NBA consensusly, and you can get a lot for him. And I know that's not a guy you just give up, but hear me out. Like I said, the Bucks were the oldest roster in the NBA last year, and they brought back Chris Middleton and they brought back Brook Lopez. If they can't get an infusion of youth, I think you trade Giannis, do him a favor. But Giannis is a loyal guy, but he'll end up leaving, just like Damian Lillard did. And the last team I have is the Philadelphia 76ers. James Harden already requested a trade, his 3rd in 4 years. And that's just a sign for Joel Embiid, who will request a trade next offseason. I'm 97% sure he'll request a trade. But they have James Harden. You're going to get some assets back for him. You have Joel Embiid, the league MVP. You're going to get a nice haul for Joel Embiid. They have Tobias Harris, so you can get some assets for. The Philadelphia 76ers could hit the reset button and head back into rebuild mode and trust the process once more and try to get a player who can actually play consistently in the playoffs and the regular season. That's just my thoughts on the 76ers. I think they can hit the reset button. But I know in the NBA, you're playing for your job and you're working for your job as a GM or president of basketball operations, and they might not be fond of that. They have an MVP. It's not guaranteed to get MVP in the draft, but that's what I would do just as a fan, because this is not my job. But that's all for me, guys. If you all enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. I'm One Trimmy, and I'm out.